Welcome back to Manifest with Neville. Close your eyes for a moment and let everything else dissolve. What if the real secret to abundance has nothing to do with effort, timing, or strategy, and everything to do with stillness? A stillness so complete that it reshapes what you call reality. In this moment, wealth is not something you are working toward. It is already yours. There is nothing to chase, nothing to prove, nothing to earn. Chasing only pushes it further away. But surrender, the simple decision to accept that it is finished, is what allows reality to bend around you. See yourself now as someone who has already won. Not next month, not someday, right now. Let the feeling rise on its own, don't force it. Notice the thrill of watching your numbers line up. Notice the wave of relief that comes from knowing your circumstances have shifted for good. Notice the quiet, unshakable certainty of being financially free. That feeling is the real ticket. When doubt tries to whisper, "But how?" let it pass through without an answer, because the how was never your job. The instant you accept wealth on the inside, the outside has no choice but to catch up. Ignore anyone who insists that fortune is random or that riches only come from labor. You are not governed by odds. You are governed by imagination. And your imagination has already claimed what's yours. There's nothing left to do but listen, feel, and know. When you open your eyes again, don't step back into who you used to be. Walk out as the person who already won. The numbers, the outcome, the event, all of it is already in motion. The world around you is not separate from you at all. It is a mirror, endlessly reflecting whatever your inner state has become. Every circumstance you'd call luck or coincidence is simply your dominant thoughts and feelings finding their way into form. What looks like fixed external reality is really just a projection of whatever you've quietly accepted as true inside. If wealth is what you're after, you have to first understand where wealth actually lives. It isn't in the economy, in other people's actions, or in chance. It begins entirely as a state of mind. If some part of you still believes you're lacking or waiting for a stroke of luck, then your outer life is bound to mirror that belief back to you. It has no other option. To shift your experience, don't waste energy fighting what's currently in front of you. Don't stare at the empty account or the stack of bills and call that reality, because the moment you do, you're reinforcing it, sealing yourself inside a world built on scarcity. Instead, turn your attention inward and claim the abundance that's already yours by right. Don't wait for proof before you allow yourself to feel wealthy. It's the feeling that produces the proof, never the reverse. This is the piece most people miss entirely. They look at what currently exists, call it reality, and stay trapped inside it. But what currently exists is only the leftover residue of thoughts you held in the past. To build something new, you have to think and feel from that new place, not toward it, hoping it eventually arrives. Sit with the feeling of already being abundant, not as some far-off wish you're reaching for, but as a fact that's already settled. What would it feel like to wake up tomorrow with zero doubt that your finances are secure, that money finds you in ways you couldn't have planned, that abundance is simply your normal state now? Don't strain to conjure the feeling. Let it arrive on its own. Picture yourself in the life you want, spending with ease, giving freely, resting in the security that comes from knowing wealth is never actually far from you. Your mind will push back. It'll say, "But I don't see it yet. How can I believe in what isn't here?" Let those objections go unanswered, because your mind was trained to trust only what your senses report, and your senses can only describe the past. They were never built to show you what's arriving, only what earlier states of thought already produced. To change course, you have to move past the evidence in front of you and treat the unseen as equally real, maybe even more real. None of this requires struggle or force. The moment you settle into owning your wealth internally, the outer world starts to rearrange itself. It won't necessarily happen overnight, but it's inevitable. Opportunities will surface. People, timing, and circumstances will begin lining up with the wealth you've already claimed within. There's no chasing required, no bargaining, no hoping. What belongs to you arrives on its own, without a fight. The only real obstacle is doubt. Dig up a planted seed daily to check its progress, and it will never take root. Trust the process instead. Live inside the certainty that it's already settled. When doubt shows up, remind yourself, my outer life only reflects what I'm holding inside, and inside I am already wealthy. Stay in that state long enough, and the world has to conform to it. The lucky draw, the unexpected windfall, the new opportunity, the chance meeting, these are simply the channels wealth uses to reach you, never the actual source. The source has always been inside you, and it has already decided you're rich. There's a real difference between wanting something and having it. Most people stay stuck in wanting, in hoping, in wishing, without realizing that these states quietly keep lack alive. Desire something intensely while still viewing it as separate from you, and you unknowingly confirm that you don't have it yet, which keeps it out of reach for as long as that belief holds. Genuine manifestation isn't about wishing harder. It's about feeling like it's already yours, moving past someday and into already. If you actually had what you wanted right now, how would that feel? That single question unlocks the whole process. Most people fail because they pour their energy into outer effort, chasing strategies and shortcuts, never realizing their outer circumstances can only mirror what's already true within them. To receive wealth in any form, you first have to assume the feeling of already being wealthy, not as a faint hope, but as something undeniable. Imagine right now that you've already won. Feel the shock, the relief, the deep satisfaction. Picture yourself sharing the news with people you love, and your life shifting instantly and completely. Let go of needing to know how it happens. The instant you fixate on the mechanics, you tangle your mind in details it was never meant to manage, and you forget that the process at work is far more intelligent than any plan you could design. Release control, and you remove the resistance that's been quietly blocking your own request. Your subconscious doesn't care whether an idea is real in the outer sense. The moment you accept something as true, it treats it as fact and gets to work making it so. It functions like soil. Plant scarcity and scarcity grows, plant certainty and certainty grows. So stop watching the account balance for evidence and start living, right now, from the feeling of already having. That feeling is the whole secret. This has been Manifest with Neville, and so it is. Your subconscious never argues, never doubts, never rationalizes. It simply takes whatever you tell it repeatedly and gets to work. Stay in the feeling of already being wealthy, and it will rearrange people, timing, and circumstance until your outer world matches what you've been insisting is true. Impressing it isn't complicated, but it does take discipline. Start by noticing your daily inner chatter. Are you quietly rehearsing worry about money without even realizing it? If so, swap the script. Trade, I can't afford this, for money moves toward me easily. Your words are instructions, but instruction alone isn't enough. The subconscious responds to feeling, not vocabulary. Reciting a line you don't actually feel changes nothing. You have to generate the real sensation of already having what you want. What does financial freedom feel like in your chest, your shoulders, your breath? Sit in that sensation often, especially right before sleep, when the subconscious is most open. Most people sabotage themselves right here. They affirm wealth for a minute, then immediately scan their bank balance for proof, and when nothing's changed, they slide back into doubt, erasing their own progress. The subconscious doesn't respond to a passing thought. It responds to a belief you refuse to abandon. Hold the assumption steady, and change becomes inevitable, not immediate necessarily, but certain. New income sources, unexpected openings, circumstances shifting in directions you never planned. None of it is coincidence. It's simply cause and effect, operating exactly as it always does. Silence is the real language of creation, because stillness is where things actually get built. Most people think they need to talk their desire into existence, explaining it to everyone, justifying it out loud, rationalizing the timeline. But the more you narrate, question, and defend a desire, the longer you postpone it. Real creation happens in the quiet acceptance that it's already settled, not in a running commentary of hope mixed with doubt. Every time you say, "I'm struggling" or "nothing works out for me," you're handing your subconscious a new instruction to keep producing exactly that. Words are seeds, whether you mean them to be or not, and constantly discussing your lack is watering weeds instead of the garden you actually want. Staying quiet, by contrast, is a statement of faith, a calm knowing that what you imagined is already yours, with nothing left to argue or prove. The sun doesn't announce its own sunrise. Your desire works the same way. It doesn't need a speech, only a steady, wordless assumption. And notice, trying is itself a confession of lack, because you only strain toward what you believe you don't have. True creation, like a seed becoming a tree, needs no force, only acceptance on the inside, which then takes shape on the outside without effort. This is precisely why so much affirming and pushing produces so little. The striving contradicts the very law it's trying to use. The ones who understand this don't chase. They rest inside the certainty that it's done, and it comes to them. There's real power in simply listening, absorbing, and releasing. We're taught to strive and hustle for everything, so this truth can feel almost too easy. But the moment you stop forcing an outcome, you make room for it to arrive on its own. Repeating affirmations and visualizing have their place, but they aren't what actually creates the shift. The real engine is a settled, quiet knowing that what you want is already yours, and that state only opens up once effort is released. Listening comes first. Quiet the noise in your mind so new possibilities have somewhere to land. A head crowded with worry and repetition of lack leaves no room for a new reality to enter. Once you're listening, absorb the feeling, because the feeling is what makes any of this real. If you were told, and truly believed, that you'd already won, what would that feel like? Relief? Excitement? Peace? That feeling is the bridge between where you stand and where you're headed. Most people just think about their desire and then snap back to their current lack. To manifest with ease, you have to soak in the feeling until it becomes your default state. Finally, let go. No longer needing proof, no longer scanning for signs, no longer wondering when. The instant you loosen your grip on the outcome, you remove the resistance that was blocking it. This isn't passivity, it's mastery. The understanding that your state of being shapes your circumstances, and your only real job is to become the person who already has what they're after. You are the cause of your life, not the effect of it. Nothing simply happens to you. Everything flows outward from the state you occupy. The outer world doesn't originate anything, it only reflects, faithfully and without judgment, whatever inner state you persist in, whether that's lack or abundance. That's why surface changes, a new job, a new city, never stick if the inner state stays the same. The same patterns just find new scenery. What you consistently think and feel are seeds in fertile soil, and every seed grows into more of its own kind. You don't need permission to change any of this. You only need to remember you were always the one holding the pen, even when you were writing unconsciously. And what you're looking at right now isn't a verdict on who you are. It's simply an old photograph, the residue of thoughts you entertained yesterday. It's not fixed, not permanent, not final, unless you keep re-signing your name to it through belief and attention. So imagine what you want, not as some distant hope, but as something already accomplished, and hold that feeling steady even when nothing outwardly moves at first. Because once the inner pattern is fully accepted, the outer has no real choice but to follow. Assume the feeling of the wish already fulfilled, not hoping, not pleading, but quietly accepting it as your present fact. Ask yourself, if this were already mine, how would I feel? And then move through your day wearing that feeling like clothing, letting it color your reactions until the world has no option but to catch up to who you've already decided to be. When results seem delayed, remember, delay is not denial, it's preparation. The instant you claim something inwardly, life starts rearranging itself behind the scenes, doors shifting, timing aligning, long before your eyes can confirm it. What's unseen is often more real than what's visible, because the visible is temporary, while the inner cause is constant. So trust the process even when nothing outward has moved yet. The wait is transformation time, not wasted time. Ask not, why is this taking so long, but who am I becoming while I wait? And when you finally do let go, let it be surrender, not defeat, releasing the need to control the how, the when, the who, the way you'd release an order once it's placed in a restaurant, trusting the kitchen instead of pacing toward it every 5 minutes. This is imagination doing its real work, the one true creative power behind everything you'll ever experience. Every invention starts as a picture held in someone's mind before it exists anywhere else. Every version of your future begins the same way, inside you, long before it shows up outside you. So speak from certainty rather than need. Try saying it plainly. I have already won. I feel it. I know it. I'm living it. Not as a wish thrown into the air, but as a quiet, repeated declaration, until your inner world and your outer world finally agree, and what you assumed within becomes exactly what shows up without. Don't confuse imagination with idle daydreaming. A daydream drifts through your mind with no feeling attached. Real imagination is deliberate and soaked in belief, using every inner sense at once, seeing it, hearing it, touching it, until you're not pretending anymore, you're building. The more real it feels internally, the more certain its arrival becomes. Repetition and emotion are what actually engrave a new pattern into the subconscious, and the world is soft clay in the hands of that pattern. You're not at the mercy of your conditions, you're their source. That's also why the spoken word matters so much. Speech isn't just communication, it's construction. Every phrase you repeat with real feeling sends a signal inward to the subconscious and outward into your circumstances. And your subconscious accepts whatever it's told with conviction, no filtering, no debating. So instead of speaking from hope, I hope I win, speak from ownership. I've already won. Abundance is mine now. A declaration carries authority, a plea never does. Repeat it daily and it stops being a sentence and becomes an identity. And once your identity shifts, the subconscious quietly gets to work, rearranging people, timing and opportunity to match it. It will look like luck from the outside. You'll know it was really the words you kept choosing to believe. Living in the end is the real secret behind all of this. It means occupying the feeling of your desire as already fulfilled, not hoping toward it, but thinking and speaking from inside it. Most people live from lack, saying, one day it'll be mine, or maybe it'll happen. And those aren't statements of power, they're quiet confessions of doubt. The world doesn't answer hope, it answers conviction. The instant you feel as though you've already succeeded, your entire frequency shifts from scarcity to fulfillment, and life responds to whatever frequency you're broadcasting, not because you chased anything, but because you became someone who naturally belongs to that outcome. This also plays out in your inner speech, the constant private conversation running underneath everything you do. You talk to yourself more than to anyone else, and that running narrative, not your outer smile, is what's actually writing your circumstances. Saying, I want to be wealthy, while your inner voice mutters, I never have enough, cancels itself out, because the world doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to identity, and identity is built from whichever words you've quietly accepted as true about yourself. Start noticing that inner tone. Is it gentle or is it critical? Trade it deliberately. Everything is working in my favor. Abundance flows to me easily. Repeat it until it stops feeling foreign and starts feeling like simple fact. Faith in this sense isn't wishful thinking, it's loyalty to a reality you can't yet touch or prove. Reciting a phrase mechanically, with doubt sitting underneath it, leaves it empty, because your subconscious was never responding to the syllables, it was responding to the feeling behind them. The real test is whether you can keep feeling wealthy while your account says otherwise, whether you can stay faithful to the unseen while the seen keeps contradicting it. And this is exactly where persistence matters most, Not forceful, gritted teeth persistence, but a quiet unwillingness to abandon the assumption. Too many people give up at the first contradiction. They picture abundance, a bill arrives, and they conclude it's not working. But repetition was never meant to convince the world of anything. The world has no power of its own, it's only a mirror. Repetition exists to convince you. The more often you return to the feeling of already having, the more natural it becomes, and the more natural it feels, the more inevitable its appearance gets. You're not forcing a river to bend, you're finally moving with its current. Eventually you stop saying the words to talk yourself into belief and start saying them simply because you believe them. And that's the exact moment the outer world runs out of options but to catch up. Your world is built from the inside out, never the other way around. Every circumstance, every relationship, every recurring pattern is simply a mirror of the assumptions you're quietly carrying. And when the belief underneath changes, the reflection has no choice but to follow. You're not a passive bystander in your own life. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. If you've noticed even a small shift in your circumstances lately, that's not chance. It means something already moved inside you first, and the outer is only now catching up. Most people get this backward, chasing outer proof, waiting for the win, the sign, the confirmation, before they'll allow themselves to believe. But belief was never meant to come last. The phrase, "I am," whatever follows it, is the root everything else grows from. Say, "I am stuck," often enough, and life organizes itself around that confession. Say, "I am chosen," and feel it, and an entirely different script begins unfolding. Understand too that desire itself is never random. A wish that feels alive and personal to you isn't an accident. It's closer to a memory than a want, a signal that what you're longing for was already prepared for you and is simply waiting on your acceptance. The seed was planted the instant you felt the desire clearly. Your only real task now is not to chase it, but to stop doubting that it's already yours. Signs and breakthroughs were never meant to arrive first to convince you. They follow after the real shift has already happened quietly on the inside. Waiting for proof before you'll believe just keeps the belief itself permanently out of reach. If something has led you to these words right now, that isn't coincidence. It's confirmation that a decision was already made in you, even if you never said it out loud. Something in you rose up and settled the matter. That settling is the actual cause, and everything visible simply follows behind it in its own time. So stop scanning your surroundings for clues that it's working. Rest instead in the plain knowing that it's already done, and let the outer world take its natural, unhurried time, catching up to a decision you've already made. You were never really waiting for a sign. In a sense, you were the sign the whole time, from the very moment the desire became clear and personal to you. You're not separate from what you want, and you're not chasing it either. You're already it, in the only place that ever mattered. Stand in that certainty, not through effort or strain, but through quiet, settled conviction, and simply watch how naturally the rest of life moves to meet you exactly where you've already decided to be. This has been Manifest with Neville. Walk in it boldly.